Hey everyone, it's Liz of Consumed by Books, and I'm here to vlog about my TBR pile for the month of August. I did think about doing an in conclusion video for July, but I figured that you can look up the books I read on Goodreads, and you'll also be able to tell what I read by looking at the reviews on my blog. For those of you who are on YouTube right now, I will put a link to my blog in the comments, and then from there is a link to my Goodreads profile on the left-hand side, so if you would like, you can friend me. But I will give you the Reader's Digest summary, which is that I read a total of 14 books in July, which was really productive, and I'm really proud of that, even if, my TBR pile is still huge and still has tons of books in it. And my very favorite of those 14 books was Virtuosity, which is by Jessica Martinez. It is a beautifully, beautifully written book, wonderful story. I absolutely adored this book. It's one that you need to pre-order it because it comes out in September, and this one might end up on my all-time favorites shelf. So that is pretty epic. So I'm going to start my TBR vlog by telling you what I am in the middle of as we're starting the month. I am reading Alone Together by Shirley Turkle. I got this book sometime this spring, and then I found out that I will be reading it for the MLIS program, which I'm going to be starting later this month. So I am working on this one now. I've just read the introduction and author's note. I've been underlining and taking notes because that's what I do with my school books as I write in them, so I will remember stuff better. It's taking me a really long time to get through this one so far because I am doing so much underlining and note-taking, but it's very interesting. It's about how we interact with technology, focusing on robotics and social networking. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to review this one on the blog or on YouTube, so if you would like to see a review, please let me know and I will make a point of doing so. I'm also currently rereading, this is probably somewhere between my 4th and 6th reread of this book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. I haven't been taking my reread of this series too quickly. I've kind of been picking them up when I want something very comforting to read. So I've been enjoying that. And I always, forget what this book is about when I'm not reading the series, but then I dive into it, I'm like, oh, that's what happens, and I think it's fantastic. I did buy chocolate that I could eat while I read this book because, well, you'll know if you read the book. And the last book that I'm currently reading as we go into August is Truth or Dare, 20 Tales of Heartbreak and Happiness, which is edited by Liz Miles. This is a title from Running Press Teens, and it is stories about love, short stories. What I do with short stories and essays is I read them in between full-length books. So this is probably going to take me actually a couple months to get through. So far, it's okay, but I'm hoping that it will get even better. And yes, I am trying to cut back on the ums in this video, so please be patient with me. Anyways, on to the books that I'm going to read. I'm actually going to be starting with a book that I borrowed, and that is Lola and the Boy Next Door, which is by Stephanie Perkins. This title comes out on September 29th from Dutton Books. I absolutely adored Anna and the French Kiss. It is fabulous. It is right there. If you haven't already read it, you should because it is wonderful. So I'm super, super psyched to read this one. I've been dying with anticipation until it comes, and I'm going to start this right after I got this vlog. Right after I finish filming this vlog. The reason being that I'm borrowing it from a friend and then sending it on, and also because I just want to read it so badly. Again, I'm going to continue to make a dent in my review pile, or at least I hope to. You will see some repeats from what I wanted to get read in July. Hopefully I will actually get to them in August. We have The Secret Society of the Pink Crystal Ball by Risa Green. I just didn't really feel the need for this one in July. I never had a moment where I was like, wow, I really need a cute, fun, light, flirty read. So I didn't really get to this one, but I'm hoping that at some point in August I will say, wow, I need a cute, fun, flirty read, and get this one read. The Lost Saint, which is by Brie Despain. This is the sequel to The Dark Divine. It is book 2 in a trilogy about werewolves. I've been getting my werewolf on lately because I've recently read Linger by Maggie Stiefvater and Wolfsbane by Andrea Kremer. So I'm hoping to get to this one soon. Next up is Contagion by Joanne Dom. This is historical fiction about a plague. I'm not sure. I think the reason I'm afraid to read this one is because it looks slow to me. Have you guys read this book? Is it fast-paced? Is it slow-paced? Do you think I'll like it? Let me know, because I really just haven't heard too much about it, and I'd love to know a little bit more going in. More of what my fellow bloggers think. Also, you know how I love to keep my adult mixed in, so I'm hoping to get to This Vacant Paradise by Victoria Patterson this month. Looks quite good. That I actually think will be a fairly fast-paced read. Still hoping to get to Jump by Tara Little. And Zanga and the Beautiful Country by Alan Richard Schickman. I just got the third book in this series for review, so I think it's time to go ahead and read this one. These are also fast books. They are set in Preolithic time. What am I saying? I don't know. I would have to look up the official term for what era these books are set in, but they are good. Good for young boys, although they are kind of violent. So, you'll see a review of that soon. Hopefully. And the last two review books I want to get to, not necessarily because they are at the top of the review pile in terms of when I got them, but because they are two books that look really, really totally awesome. And that is Possess by Gretchen McNeil. This book does actually come out this month. I can't find the exact date. Oh wait, it's right there. 8/23, so that's August 23rd. This one just sounds amazing. Sounds so original and unique. Gretchen recently got her finished copies of this book in the mail, and they are gorgeous. She posted pictures on Twitter. So I'm really hoping to get to this one, give it some hype right around the release. That would be awesome for all of us. And I'm also hoping to get to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Quirk Books sent me this one, and I'm trying to bump this one up because it just sounds awesome, and also because the author and I share our alma mater of Kenyon College. And of course, I do have some of my own books that I would really like to get to this month. We have Forever, which is by Judy Blume. You heard me mention earlier that I am going to be starting an MLIS program later this month, which, by the way, might affect how much reading I get done, but I'm going to think about that later. I feel like this is kind of an iconic young adult novel, like one that everyone has read except me. So I feel that if I'm going to be a young adult librarian, then I should probably get on reading this. Next up, I'm planning on reading The Graveyard Book, which is by Neil Gaiman. I found out that I am going to be listening to an audiobook of The Graveyard Book for a class, which I'm pretty excited about because I love Neil Gaiman's work. And I actually like to only listen to audiobooks of things that I've already read. The reason being because sometimes my attention just kind of drifts away when I'm listening. So, you know, I feel like it kind of keeps me anchored better if I've already read the story and known it once. So I am hoping to get to this one. And, okay, cool thing about this book that I have to show you, and then I'll stop. It is signed. Yes, I'm excited about that one to say the least. And I'm sorry for being kind of a show-off. This was in my TBR pile for July. The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffinger. I've been wanting to read this book for years. I just haven't gotten to it. And I hope that if I keep putting this in my TBR pile and keep thinking about how much I want to read it, then you guys will yell at me and I'll eventually just break down and read it. Because I really do want to read it, I just have not gotten there yet. Please keep yelling at me to read that one. It looks really good, and I've heard great things from people that I trust. I'm also hoping to read Witch Eyes by Scott Tracy. This book comes out in September from Flux. I won this ARC from the author's blog, so it's another one of my signed copies. Since Scott was so kind as to send this ARC to me, I think that it would be nice if I could again get it reviewed right around the release date, because I know that reviewing books right around the release date is what helps sales in publishing. So there's that. Also, pretty cover alert. Next up, I'm hoping to get to Forever by Maggie Stiefvater. I was talking to Shannon of Chick Loves Lit about this series the other day, and she said that when she read this one, she had kind of forgotten what happened in Linger, and that it was a good idea to read Linger and Forever right in a row, which I didn't quite do, but I'm hoping to get to this one soon. I didn't love Linger quite as much as I loved Shiver, so I'm hoping Forever will kind of really bring the magic back for me. Next up, I'm hoping to get to Wildfire, which is by Karsten Knight. Really pretty finished copies. This book is about a Polynesian volcano goddess, and I was just watching a video from the author's launch party on his blog, and apparently there was a scene in this book where this Polynesian volcano goddess is making out with a guy, and she gets so turned on that she gets really hot, literally physically hot, and leaves a handprint on his chest. I think this sounds hilarious. I don't know if that's really the point. I think I'm supposed to be cringing maybe, but I also do find it somewhat funny. And it just made me really want to read this book. Plus, something about having it be about a Polynesian volcano goddess strikes me as making it a good summer read. Or maybe it's going to be a good winter read because when it's snowy and cold, I can imagine being someplace warmer and like make myself a nice pina colada. If you've read this book, let me know if you would recommend it for summer or winter, because now I'm actually feeling kind of torn. And lastly, this is a book that I'm almost definitely going to be getting to this month because I have been wanting it and wanting it and wanting it since December. And that is The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab. And it is so gorgeous. Oh. I've been hearing fantastic things about this book, particularly from Misty over at Book Rat, who, by the way, I forgot to mention, is the person who started making TBR vlogs in the first place, so go check her out if you haven't already. Yeah, anyways, I've heard really great reviews of this one from Misty and Jessica of Chick Lit Teens, and it just sounds wonderful and fantastic. It just seems like a book where the writing is going to be very amazing. I don't know why, I just really get that impression from the premise. Yeah, so that's cool. And Victoria Schwab is kind of obsessed with narwhals. She linked up to an Etsy shop that sells narwhals, and I bought this little guy because he is so cute. His name is Eustace, and eventually I'm going to buy him a twin brother and name him Claude, and if you understand why I am going to do that, then you are awesome. But Eustace is going to watch over me while I read The Near Witch, and if anyone touches my book or tries to interrupt me while I read, Eustace's horn can be used to poke them. Sorry, I'm just having a lot of fun with my narwhal. Both of my parents came up to me once this thing came and were like, "What is that?" And I said, "Duh, it's a narwhal." And once I read The Near Witch, it'll live near that book on the shelves and guard it. So it'll be a narwhal and a guard wall. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough of my weirdness for one vlog. So I want to know what everyone else is thinking about reading this month. If you're contemplating making a vlog with Misty and I, you totally should. Or just, you know, let me know in the comments because I want to know. I think that's it. Happy reading, everybody.